4 significant things you lose when you're in a relationship with a narcissist. What prevents people from moving on after breaking up with a narcissist? If this is supposed to hurt, why does it have to? I don't understand why I can't get over this feeling of despair. I don't understand why you keep replaying those memories in your head. How come you put all the blame on yourself? The shortest response to these questions is that you suffered significant losses so much both during and after the relationship. What's more, you've got a lot of ground to cover to make up for this loss in just maybe 2 or 3 months. Time is required, but what exactly do I imply when I say loss? I say we investigate it and find out. Today's episode discusses the 4 most significant things you lose when you're with a narcissist. Before we get started, I'm curious about what you felt was your greatest loss during the narcissistic relationship. In order to make other survivors feel like they are not alone in their experiences, please share your story in the comments. To receive timely updates, subscribe to this channel and click the bell icon. It can be a big support for us. The first thing that happens, you stop being yourself. Before starting a relationship with the narcissist, you were your own person. Basically, you just followed your interests. Your preferences in both favored and disfavored items were clear. You were quite clear on your priorities. You were goal-oriented and self-motivated, and you seemed to have a good handle on things. Then you hoped that when being with the narcissist would improve your already high standard of living. When you finally did meet them, what did you do? Obviously, they robbed you blind. They robbed you blind, leaving you a husk of your former self and nothing more. Your preferences will be scrutinized and judged until you reject the things you once held in high esteem but now see as worthless. You were misled with misleading information and made to feel like you were the one who was off your rocker. You were made to examine your innermost sentiments, beliefs, worldview, self-view, and perspective on this connection, until it became what the narcissist ultimately wanted it to be, a whole mess. It's safe to say that you become someone else as a result. You've lost precious possessions. You lost interest in activities you formerly enjoyed. You've lost interest in finishing tasks. You stopped living and just started being so focused on staying alive. Because of how helpless you felt, you devolved into a person who was either fighting, fleeing, or doing nothing at all. Being in a relationship with a narcissist may be quite damaging, especially if it causes you to lose your sense of self. It seems you have lost touch with your own identity, and the sense of who is I, you, or being has vanished. The only thing that remains is a person who has developed a wide variety of coping mechanisms and must now learn to adjust to a new environment from which they were previously isolated. Second, there is never a sense of security in the partnership. There was never a moment of absolute safety when dealing with the narcissist. What do you think? Comment down below and let me know. When were you ever able to trust the narcissist completely? I'm going to guess that you didn't because you were afraid of what the narcissist might do if you offended them. So, you had to constantly shift and regulate the setting to accommodate their responses. That must have left you feeling exhausted. The experience shaped you into someone who forces you to keep an eye on your surroundings at all times. You spent a lot of energy planning your path through the system and this relationship in the hopes of avoiding negative outcomes like being humiliated, rejected, or abandoned. Many memorable events occurred during your time together. This feeling of insecurity is, therefore, not limited to events or emotions within the partnership. The narcissist lied to you about everything, altering your perception of the world and your sense of safety in it. Imagine they present their identity while actually they are another whole person. That must have surprised you, and you probably started to question the world, its stability, and its goodness after that. You have lost all faith in yourself and others. There is a pervasive sense of narcissism. As a result of constantly worrying about your safety, you remain on high alertness, activity, and hyper-awareness. You constantly worry even if you are no longer in contact with the narcissist. You are always troubled with anxiety and tension. Where do things go from here? Exactly what are this person's future intentions? You speculate on their possible actions. You've lost trust in people and are hence reluctant to form deep relationships with anyone new. Once again, this represents a serious threat to one's security. We require a setting where we can develop and progress as individuals without fear of harm or confinement. how to prioritize our requirements, and improve ourselves accordingly. However, a sense of security is lacking. Where would you go, and how would you get there? As a result, you need to understand that your inability to cope with the aftermath of leaving the narcissist is rooted in your insecurity about your own safety. Your brain is still adjusting to your new surroundings and determining if you are safe after ending your relationship with the narcissist. Freedom reduction is the third on the list. One of the most effective ways for a narcissist to exert dominance in a relationship is to sow doubt in the other person's confidence in their own ability to deal with challenges. That's the damage caused by narcissists, by the way. Their goal was to make you question your own abilities. How brilliant you are was a target of their insults. They made you feel insignificant. This person made you feel helpless and lost, as if you had no idea what you were doing in this world, and they forced you to rely heavily on them. They made you completely reliant on them, to the point where you no longer have any agency over your own life. They have cut off your access to financial resources. They're a major distraction and make it difficult to get anything done. They confine you to the room, where you must perform your menial duties in order to satisfy their wants and desires. This actually transpired. Finally, they've transformed you into someone who can't function in society and has lost any sense of direction. They are the ones to blame when you are unsuccessful, because they planned it that way, to act in ways designed to bring about your own failure. Then they escalate their deception by controlling you with it. As a result, you have no notion of what to do or how to proceed. You are completely at a loss for action. Ultimately, you lost your independence because of your agreement to that. You gave up trying to lead because you assumed you were incompetent. You can't possibly understand how they operate, and they know better than you how to get things done. Once you start depending on them, you can't seem to function without them. And then the dependence took over, and you stopped being who you truly were. Number 4. You give up on the dreams you had before meeting the narcissist. You wanted a lot of different things. You wanted to get some things done. You have goals and an approach to life that you've desired to achieve them. You had an aspiration to work in a particular field, or you imagined a certain phase of your life. After interacting with the narcissist, what steps did you take? Because of how they made you feel, you lost everything. Someone doubted your value and abilities. They didn't think about what you could do to be possible. Time is something you have in abundance that you have frittered away. No amount of youth, wealth, connections, or financial security could save your hopes and goals from being dashed. Simply said, opportunities will pass you by if you sit around doing nothing. Losing years means not only not seizing opportunities, but also not being able to accomplish some things once you've left. Because you can't change the past, that's why you have to be disappointed. A loss cannot be recovered. The narcissist also made numerous assurances to you, having a family and being married forever. You did hear them correctly, right? But the reality they presented was terrifying. So, your expectations were dashed. A glimmer of hope had long since faded. With them, you have stuck in devastating losses. It may refer to your early years, your precious free time, your hopes and goals, or something else. The loss must be tremendous for you to be able to mourn so lightly. It's appropriate to lament the loss of both the individual and the connection. Even more so, you have every reason to feel depressed. This connection has caused you to lose a lot of yourself, not just one piece of you that's gone. Consequently, it is reasonable that you might feel down for a while and struggle to move on from your sadness. You'll need to keep calm and be sympathetic. That's the gift you owe yourself, at the very least. The episode has concluded for the day. Leave a like and a comment if you found this to be informative and entertaining. If you found it useful, please subscribe to this channel and share your thoughts below. I look forward to chatting with you in the comment section below. Also, until then, you should focus on growing better, because no matter what, everything will be fine. Have a nice day.